and I feel like I'm passionate about something and I want to share it with people, but I'm scared because I feel like, oh, what if there's someone else who's better and I'm an amateur compared to them or something, but you kind of have to let that go. And just if you're passionate about it, you're already, 20 steps ahead of somebody else because they may just be doing it just because it's a job or something, but you're actually passionate about it. So it's going to force you to look at things in a different way, and it's just naturally going to show in your work.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Friday again here in California. And again, we're back to our afternoon show. We've been doing it in the morning for the last few weeks. But today, we're going to have it in the afternoon, your afternoon treat from our Denu team. So today, I'm so honored to have one of the very amazing member in my own personal team. He is actually making my life so easy. We are in the creative team and we make so many designs and projects impromptu a lot of times. And he is one of those that I can always lean on. So I'd like to showcase him and really excited for you to know him even more. No other than Mr. Seth Ali.
Hello. If only I could get that introduction every time.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for taking time. It's always hard to grab you guys and sit down with me for an hour and just chat a little bit because I know how busy you guys are. And I know there are so many things that we do, and many times you're in a zone and you don't want to be disturbed. But thank you. Your time is so precious, but we're so honored that you're here today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Seth, you've been with us for a while, and well, of course, we know you, but for the sake of everybody to know you even more, if you just can tell us, how did you get here and how did you get started in our team in Denu?
Sure. So brief is I lived in California for a long time, and then during the pandemic, I thought I'm gonna kind of start over, and so my family had moved to Kansas. And
the whole family,
the entire family.
Wow.
And I thought, I'd never really been to Kansas before, so I knew nothing about the state, and I was like, okay, well, this will be a fresh start. And I went there and got a home and thought this is going to be great. But then after spending some time, this, of course, during the pandemic, I was just really unhappy. And I knew I didn't feel at home anymore. And it prompted me within less than 2 years to come back to California. And I wanted to kind of stay in the healthcare space. I was actually in finance working for a mental health hospital back in Kansas, which I did truly love my job, even though I wasn't happy with the location. So I set out to find something else in finance, and it brought me here to Denu, and I joined your finance team. And then there was all this excitement when I first started with this new entity you were launching, or new company. And so I was like, wow, okay, let me take a look. And I did, and I thought, wow, I think I can contribute something here. It seemed like something that was really cool. And I think I just casually talked to you about it or something. I don't even really remember how it all started. And then next thing I know, I'm part of Edson, and yeah.
Yeah, I know you were trying to really wait for me and try to find the best time. But let's circle back to that later on. Kansas. Why Kansas?
Well, my father grew up there, so it was his hometown. Yeah, his hometown, and I just thought if I'm going to start over, I might as well start over close to wherever my family is, and that's where they had just happened to lay grounds. And my father works in an industry where he is contracted at certain facilities and turns them around, but is usually only contracted 2 to 3 years at a time, and then he'll move on to another place. So at this location, he thought this is going to be it. I'm not going to move again. So I thought, oh, it's a good place to lay grounds. We're not going to move anymore.
But he's not there anymore, huh? He
No,
moved too with you.
everyone
Right, in
decided to
California.
leave.
No place like California,
But there's no
everyone.
place, and that really showed that, there is a feeling inside where you just truly feel like you're home. And I learned, I mean, not really a lesson, but it was good to know that this is where I feel like I'm home.
There's really actually, I've met a lot of people who was based in California and moved out of California. And a lot of the people that I knew end up moving back to California. So there might be some charm in California that, we cannot find elsewhere. And I know small spaces, small towns, small states are also very neat and very nice. But I think if you're used to, not even just the city, but what California gives you, the sun, the beach, the mountains,
The
the
quality of
snow,
life here,
it's
I
all
feel like
here. And it's an economic zone. At the same time,
it truly
it's
is.
not really that, it's not really that congested, because California is one of those huge state to be. So there's still really space for us to really be able to move around and breathe, even though you're in a city, in a growing city. So, and I had, our lawyer, for one, Attorney Bobby Rupal, moved out of California, I believe, several times. And one time I was joking, like, let's move out of California, Bobby. I said, Amabel, I've done that several times. Believe me, I kept coming back. So stay put, stay here. So welcome back home.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you were there for just how long?
Just shy of 2 years.
2 years. And then when you came back from Kansas, now it's about what?
I've been
is it
here
3?
just over, 3
Almost.
years. Almost 3
Yeah,
years.
right? So I never even felt it's 3 years already.
I know. Well, now I try to forget about the Kansas move. I just collectively think I've been here.
And sometimes it's good to step out of our comfort zones. Sometimes we in a zone or we in a place when, and then all we see is problem and issues until we step out of it and we realize there's still so many good things about it.
You don't know
And-
what you have until it's
and
gone.
correct.
Yeah.
And then you realize I really was in the best place after all. So sometimes that opportunity is also good. And then you appreciate now, more where you are. And now you can get going and
Yeah.
even becoming back a better person.
For
and
sure.
now you know exactly where you're heading. You know what you want, right? So I think that's good. And that's what traveling does too. Sometimes just they said, oh, I don't like to travel. I like where I am. Or I don't have any money. I don't have any resources. But just being out of where you are makes you a better person. Even though wherever you go, and you'll see the good and the bad and the ugly. But you come back and you really were like, wow, I really had great things
Or
going
you're
where
inspired.
I am.
Yeah.
Right?
I always tell my family and friends, like, when I've lived in other states, I've also lived in Texas. And every time I would travel outside of Kansas or outside of Texas, and then I would return home, I felt like, oh, I'm so depressed to be back. I still wish I was on a trip. And even though now when vacation is awesome and it's exciting, but when I'm always happy to return home here. And
Yeah.
when you have that feeling, that you're
You know where home is. And it's good, when people can get to find where home is. It's good to have that feeling. Some people doesn't still know where home is for them.
And it's not necessarily where you're born or
Correct. Yeah. It's really where you're going to be growing and you're going to be planted. And you'll know
Exactly.
that. I think it's like a divine appointment to where we're going to be.
Definitely.
And you'll have that feeling. So you you have brothers,
Yes.
right? And sisters.
Yes.
How many brothers, sister?
Just one of each.
One brother, one sister.
Correct. I have a twin brother.
A twin brother. So what makes you different from your twin brother?
We're different in
is it
so
a safe
many ways.
question to ask?
It's a safe question.
Peace.
We're so different yet so alike. I feel like we have a lot of the same mannerisms, same interests, yet we're so different. He was out of high school. He went into the Marines, and so he's all about like staying fit and discipline,
Nature,
and,
outgoing.
and I'm kind of more the not free spirit, but I kind of just go by the beat of my own drum, and I don't really. I struggle sometimes with people telling me what to do. I kind of want to do my own thing, and so I don't think I would ever thrive in an environment like the military or anything like that.
Well, you have your own gift.
Yeah.
You're a very artistic person, you know.
Yeah.
You are your imagination is amazing, and then you could put that into what you do, right? So everybody has his own space. And I think when you know that and accept that, then you know you feel secure and confident, and it doesn't matter who is around you, even though you sometimes, and not even sometimes, most of the time, even me, I get impressed by a lot of people's gifts. But I also have to accept that's not my gift and have to know where my place is. And then I try and I'll just stick to where I am and do more of me and get better from there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I think that's also good. And you knowing that, then sometimes siblings get envious of each other. How come you're doing this? How come you have that? But really, truly, you are also a very spectacular person on your own.
Thank
and
you.
you are, right? So you said you started here as accounting. That's what you know, right?
Yes.
That's what you were doing before. So did you even envision doing something else outside of accounting?
Not really. I mean, I've always had a passion for design. I did freelance web design and worked for an agency, and kind of even did my own business for a while. And then that was, of course, pre-pandemic. And then I kind of always fell back into finance. But no, definitely creativity and design is my passion. And I feel like that's where I can thrive and contribute the most.
Yeah, and really, I believe the finance team, if they can have you back, they want you to have back as soon as fast as they can, right? But how did you know? Because when you were working here, and you said you were looking at our new programs. We have a lot of programs going on.
Yeah.
But even were you scared, or do you know that? What were you thinking?
Just a piece. I think I just wanted to take a peek and see what it was all about. And then I kind of fell in love with it, and we're here today.
Yeah. And are enjoying a lot of your designs.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing, and not everybody can get to do what they like to do, right?
Yeah.
Because initially, when we're working, we are really just working. We just want to have a job. And then after a while, we get stuck to a job. And sometimes we fall in love to our job eventually, because you have to love what you do.
Of course.
Right? You have to learn what you do. You have to love what you do. But not everybody can get to really do what they are really called for to do and really, really want to do. And sometimes they don't even get to find it.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Sometimes that's why this is also something I want to expound, because sometimes the boss will ask you, or your whoever's your supervisor will ask you to do other things, and you think you're not good at it until you really do it. You'll never actually know that I am really good at it. Oh, I really like this. So, and that's one thing I also encourage. Be a yes person and get through it, and then get it off your checklist.
Yeah.
And I've done it, I don't want to do it. Or I've done it, let me do it again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you'll never know what you're good at and
That's
what
true.
will get your attention. Like, I really
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And design and marketing, a lot of the companies don't pay attention to that. Right? When they have a business, they look at just finance, income, ROI, customer base. But a lot of the people, unless maybe they have this marketing mind, or they're open to growing and have other people give them input, but they don't look at design. And do you think that's part of some people not moving forward? A lot of people are getting stuck where they are and they stay small.
Yeah.
Do you think design and marketing has a role in it?
I think it has a huge role, and I think people underestimate the role that it plays in your businesses and your public perception. And I think it plays a huge role.
When you're creating a design, of course, we get intimate to it. We put
Yes.
our own personality in it.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's been a struggle of mine sometimes. I feel like I feel like even to this day, I still have to remind myself, I'm not making something for me. I'm making it for someone else or something else. And so just because I like something doesn't mean it fits or works well with the project I'm working on. So I always have to step back and have other people look at it and give me their perspective and why it's either it works or it doesn't. And it's always good to remember that I'm not designing just for myself. I'm designing for others. So
You just have to be mindful who our audience is.
Yeah.
But also, yes and no to that. And this is what thing I want to also probably say. Maybe it's my opinion, because when we shop or we go somewhere else and we look at something, a design, a book, a letter, or any item, right? We were not really thinking that it's good until somebody shows us, oh, this is really good.
yeah.
So sometimes I believe we can start with what we like, and we can, because the good thing about design and what do you call that, and art is we're able to showcase who we are. But I think sometimes we can create something and we can convince other people that it is also good.
Yes.
In between that, we may get their opinion and see what else probably they want in between. But sometimes we already have this great idea, and all we do is really sell it to them. This is also a good idea. And then once they buy into that, then you can continue to do more of that, because sometimes sometimes it's a hit and miss.
Yes.
But at the same time, once we're true to ourselves, we can really put so much good in our design as
Yes.
well.
And if you're passionate about it and it's gonna work,
Yeah.
it's gonna work. I
Yeah.
feel like, and I think that's why design and marketing work so hand in hand with each other, because it really takes both, especially when you're putting like a product to market or anything like that, like you're saying in the retail space.
Yeah.
It's not just about the design; it's also about the marketing and getting it right. And
Yeah. And we look at the people's expression, like,
yeah,
they're excited, like, wow.
Yeah.
And when they say, like, their eyes get so big and like, wow,
Right,
then we're
right.
successful, right? That's
Yes.
like, oops, I made it. I did it. I succeeded, right?
Yeah.
So I think part of that is the design at a, in a nutshell. When you're selling something, instead of telling them the whole story, one small design can tell it all.
yes,
And I think that's the power of design.
uh-huh,
With having the right tone, the right color, the right font, the right picture.
the spacing,
Yeah,
everything.
it just tells you, wow, this is it. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right.
Right? So I think that's what it can do. And a lot of the people miss that.
Yeah.
They want to tell this whole thing, and then after that you get bored. Like, what's your point? Redirect the point, right? So I think some people can do that other thing, can expound, they can do that writing part, right? But the design itself will just summarize it all.
Right. And it's so vital to people's perception. Like, one thing about you that's so great is you're so mindful about even just a gift, the way it's packaged or the way, the presentation of it all. And obviously design plays a big role in that, but it's true. You tell a story about, giving chocolates and the way it was presented. And,
Makes
it's
it
such a simple
appetizing.
gift. Yeah. But that can be so much more meaningful and appreciated than, just some high dollar thing that's just thrown in a sack, or,
Yes.
you know what I mean? It's how it made them feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what we're doing with design is we're giving the maker, right, as a place where people can really be able to see what they really intend to do, to be, instead of just, oh, here's a chocolate. But
Right.
what did they really create a chocolate for? What did they create this, right? So the design will tell a story.
Will.
And the one that's receiving it will also get to know, this is your
Yeah.
story. And then both of you meet in the middle and appreciate, what was gifted to you and what was given to you.
Yeah. How does it look? What's the message? How does it
Yeah.
make them feel? I think,
And then I think being careful and being particular about how we put things together, you just want to make people feel special.
yes.
And I think that's one of the main thing that design does is I really just want to make you feel special, right? It's just a matter of, I was thinking of you. So I was thinking of you. I grabbed this or I created this. But, it's more than that. You're
It's
more than
intentional,
that,
you know?
right?
Yeah.
So I want to make this even extra special because it's you. And that makes that. And I think that's really how I also pick my team, because it's not a matter of, okay, do you know how to do this? Go ahead and do that. But, are you someone who can help me make this person feel special? Right? Are you someone who's also very conscious about that? And when you're conscious about what you're going to get and what you're going to receive, you're going to do the same thing
Yeah.
to other people. It's a give and take, ecosystem, right? Circling back to your family, let's circle back to them. Because, I mean, for me, I get fascinated when I meet people, and I know that that person is not just a person, and this happened overnight. There's people behind it. There's people that molded you to be who you are, right? And there's people who really inspired you to be who you are and what you do today, right? And for those who have not find that, you have to find it because there should be somebody that's inspiration, right? Who inspired you to be who you are? Who inspired you to do, to keep waking up in the morning and then I'm gonna do a good job. But who instilled that inspiration to you?
It would be my mother. I'm a mama's boy, and my brother and I, well, and my sister, but my mother adopted my brother and I as a single mother, and just the way she raised us, it instilled everything, all my values,
And you know what? I've met a lot of people, and they're so good in what they do. And when I ask them one question, who inspired you? A lot of them, starts from the mom.
yeah,
The love of the mom, the attention of the mom, the care of the mom keeps, it keeps that alive all throughout our lives, no matter how old we're going to get, right? Their love and their voices
yeah,
are always in our head.
Yeah.
And that plays a big role. And I know there are also things that maybe not people had bad experiences back home, but for us to keep going, we need to make that home whole
yes,
because that's always our starting point. We cannot keep moving forward without making that right?
yeah, yeah,
So what a blessing that is, to have your mom.
yeah.
So, no, because everybody loves Seth. And I know we have our own moments.
We do.
But everybody loves you, and you also find a way to get along with everybody. We have all different personality, especially when we have projects. Believe
Yeah.
me, we all have our own opinion,
Opinions.
and that's part of that. That problem with the team in marketing and design is everybody has their opinion, and everybody's opinion is really also good. You just have to come up with one great one, to.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
only print one. We can only create one.
But I think that's
thing.
what makes our team so good, because we can all just kind of say what's on our mind. And if you don't like what I'm saying and vice versa, then we can just go with that and we
Yeah.
move on and we figure out, okay, what do you not like about this, or what am I not liking, and see if we can come to a compromise and see if there's any perspective or value from what the other idea is, or
And then for initially, I thought the whole team will be competing against each other. But really what I'm seeing right now is unity. I really like the way I'm seeing you guys grow. And I believe when we keep adding more teams, you're just going to be ready for that. And I like how you guys just, step in.
Yeah.
Step in and then let's get it happen and let's make it happen. And you just connect, and you just connect. And I love our mini family. And I know we're different breed from the rest of the other department. And sometimes they look at us like, are you guys crazy? Yeah, we're crazy.
we are.
We're
good
crazy.
crazy.
But, we are so also very possessive of what we do, and we're very particular of what we do. And we take
are.
pride
We do.
on,
We do.
on the outcome that we have. Just
Yeah.
like the last wine gift that we had. Like, wow, how did we come up with this, right?
And everyone loved it.
Everybody loved it.
You know.
So now, now they're thinking, can we sell this? We can sell it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Now, your personal life,
Uh-huh.
right? And I know part of that, of course, we cannot keep going and growing and being also working hard without that driving force to work hard, right? What is Seth's driving force to keep working hard?
I think it's for my life and the family I'm building right now, and kind of, since I moved back to California, I think I'm just trying to craft the lifestyle that I want for the rest of my life, and so year by year we're just trying to chisel
Make it
that
better.
and make it better and really live the way I want my life to go. So,
And I also believe that what you want in life and what you think and you're so passionate of, you just attract that naturally. And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
you're attracting that, right?
Yes.
And I think your home is really something that's really, also remarkable. And how you keep building that, like you keep decorating that. And
yeah.
thank you for sharing your family with us every now and then.
Thank
I'm
you for
looking
sharing
forward to
your
meet-
family. This is, People in workplaces, they always say like, "Oh, this is our family," but here, you truly feel it. We're invited to everything. We're involved with everything. We truly, obviously, see each other more than maybe our own families throughout the weeks and time we work here. So, we don't just say we're
Your
a family.
family.
We truly are. If I am at the hospital in the middle of the night, I can text you and be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And actually, that's one of my prayer. I'm thanking God every night. What a privilege also for me, for me to have you guys. What a privilege that is, because I could be somewhere and nobody really cares for you, right? Just clock in and clock out. But here we know after work, whatever time, we could count on each other.
Yeah.
Especially you guys. Sometimes I have a deadline. Like, guys, I'm so sorry to bother you, but I have this deadline. But thank you. And I'm really looking forward to us growing. There's many, many things more that I think we're going to see and do, and excited for that. And thank you for your patience, your hard work, and really just making it also your own. Because that's one thing really I want to stress, because if you don't love what you do and making it your own, then you can only go so far.
Right.
Right? And you have a big role in how we're moving forward with the rest of the things that we do. Because we have technical teams, we have finance team, they're good at what they do, but us, we make it colorful for them, right? So long-term plan, how do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I'd say doing this, helping build brands, helping, spotlight companies, and being able to have that consistency where people can really get to learn who you are as a person or a brand or anything. And so that's I probably right here, with all the various projects we have in the iron now, and whatever else we come up with down the road.
You have international projects.
All over the world.
We'll be meeting other people, other countries, other continents soon.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad, we take pride of we're small. I always look at we're mom and pop, but for their eyes, for the people, we're kind of like huge already.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the partnerships of the rest of the people, but you guys are leading it.
Yeah.
I'm not even I don't even see you guys regularly, but you guys are just on the zone, and then just keep moving forward and continue to really inspire me too. They're like, wow, I'm so impressed with what you guys are creating. And I believe our designs just keep getting better and better each time.
It does.
As we keep getting to know who we are, what we want to do, our teams, and then the things that we want to say. It's just, the idea just keep flowing.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. Linking all of our projects together and getting us out there for everyone to see. And, we do such great work with, obviously, in the healthcare field. We're touching so many lives, but also with our other projects. They all interconnect, and it's cool to see how they all work in tandem,
Yep.
Yeah.
And they just show up and like, wow, we did it. Few things that you want to share to other people, Seth, like maybe 3 things. What can you do to inspire the people, especially those that are probably in the design or in the business market? What can you do to make sure that they are seen and they're heard?
I think just
in terms of design.
Yeah, just follow your passion, because I don't think anyone needs to tell you. I think I grew up sometimes like with imposter syndrome, and I feel like I'm passionate about something and I want to share it with people, but I'm scared because I feel like, oh, what if there's someone else who's better and I'm an amateur compared to them or something, but you kind of have to let that go. And just if you're passionate about it, you're already, 20 steps ahead of somebody else, because they may just be doing it just because it's a job or something, but you're actually passionate about it. So it's going to force you to look at things in a different way, and it's just naturally going to show in your work. I think it's going to show that you're passionate about it, and you can tell by looking at someone if they're passionate about something or not.
And most artists are like that. They're so hard on themselves. And they wait for the perfect time, and they wait for the perfect work. But to other people, it's perfect.
It's already perfect.
And for the artist, like, there's so many flaws.
Yeah.
But the flaw is what's making it perfect for the consumers.
And even I struggle with it now doing, I'm always waiting for the perfect moment. Oh, I've designed this, but there's something not right about it. Let me wait. And I'm going to tinker with it for a while and then I'll show. But then sometimes it just happens organically. You put out what you have, and then you can always improve it later. You don't need to wait. There's no perfect moment ever. I don't think that time will ever come.
Your partnership with Miguel,
Yes.
what makes it special?
I think he just believes in me. He believes in me, and he has my back on everything. I feel secure. I don't feel scared to do anything. It's just if it works out, great. If it doesn't, well, I'm glad you tried. Yeah.
Wow, the support is there, all along, and I think it's vice versa too, right?
Hopefully so.
So, your team, is there things that we can improve? Maybe what can we do?
You know what?
Make it better.
I think there's always improvements, but where it's like growing pains. I think when I first started, people, anyone, not just me, people can look at certain people like, oh, this person's a tough person to work with, but really you're just kind of in a growing phase where you're kind of getting to know what each person's strong suits are. There are things that I'm not strong in that other people in our team are strong in, and you can leave those things to them and just acknowledge, that's their domain, and I think it just takes time to understand and learn people's strong suits and weaknesses, and kind of adapt your team to fit those needs. Yeah.
Well, that's confidence
Yeah.
right there, and respect for each other. And the most important thing, I think, we just embrace each other.
Yeah.
And love each other. And I know there are times when we don't always agree on everything that we do, but at the end of the day, we're there for each other.
Yeah.
And if we have deadlines, we just make it happen.
We make it happen. It's all going to work out. That's another motto I'm trying to go for this year. Everything's going to work out. I've lived this long, over 30 years, and it's worked out.
Yeah.
So why am I nervous about the next 30 years or the next, it's going to work out.
And you have a big role in it also. So thank you so much for what you do. Actually, I'm looking forward to showcase the whole team and maybe showcase what we do in between, in the near future. But at least now you get to know Seth. From the very beginning, we're really very particular about our image and the message that we're going to share to you. Our brain keeps working, and there's so many things we want to talk about, but in one design, in one art, we can showcase, really who the Firehouse team is and what we're capable of, and the things that we love and passionate, in our team, and the things that keep us going. So I believe that department, and it's just going to continue growing, is very, very critical to where we're heading and the growth that we are facing right now. So if you don't have the marketing team, the design team, or those that create for you, the creative team, that's something that probably they have to consider, and making sure that it's part of what you do, because for you to bloom, and grow your company, you need to have those pieces. Thank you, Seth, for your time.
Thank you,
I'm just looking at your time. I know we're crunched with time, but
We are good. We made
we're
it through.
good. We made it through.
I was so nervous.
And I still want you to be here one of these days. We're gonna talk more about what other things, and we're just so mindful of time right now. But I'd like to showcase your other work, because I'm sure there's so many things you want to talk about. When it comes to the things that you do day in, day out. And we would like to invite the rest of the team here, and maybe we can have fun talking about what they do. Right? And then again, bloom on the battlefield. So the things that we go through day in, day out. This is kind of like what we have.
Good read, just
Yeah,
to
good,
get you.
easy read.
It's an easy read, but it's an inspiring read. So it kind of just can get
you.
you through the day, even if you're just like,
Even just the title bloom on the battlefield. So this is kind of like also our inspiration. Just bloom, right? So grab it at edsensolutions.com. Looking forward for actually more books. So even as we're talking already for more books to be done, because there's so many materials that we have. And we want to keep compiling it in one, book for the readers to also have a piece of us.
And sharing these stories it's so great.
Yeah, keep it going. So
it does.
thank you, everybody, and hope to see you again next week. Bye.
Take care.
Yes.